before I read this, I just want to say how dependent we are as a nation and world on our reservists and on the Guard. We could not operate the way we do today in Iraq, in Afghanistan, in Djibouti, and anywhere around the world without our Guard and Reserve. This has grown over time and out of necessity and out of budget concerns. The last 20, 30 years, we've done what we talked about for a long period of time, and that is truly integrate the Guard and Reserve into the active military component. And I think it's been somewhat of a difficulty, actually, for a number of Guard and Reserve families that maybe historically have thought, well, I can sign up for the Guard and Reserve, there isn't going to be all that much active component of it, and this will work just fine. Well, the last 20 years, this has been an integral part of the active military force. And it is critical for us on a go-forward basis that it remain that way. Then there's the other side of it. We got to make sure that when you're a Guard or reservist, you can get a job and keep a job when you're back in the United States or when you're back in Kansas. And that can be difficult. If you're an employer, you're looking at this individual saying, this person has a good chance of being gone a fair amount of time during any year's time period. And what we're trying to do with this, what we're urging with this, is that employers sign this statement of support for the Guard and Reserve, that they want to hire and will hire Guard and Reservists, and that they will work with these well-trained men and women to find jobs that fit, that work, that allow them to serve both their country and their employer. And this is really an important thing for us. As we go forward in tough budgetary times, the Guard and Reserve, I think, will grow in its importance, strategic importance for us as a country, and their ability to keep jobs is going to be critical for them to be able and willing to stay in the Guard or Reserve. So I'm delighted to support this. I would note, because the impact is massive, as I stated earlier, Kansas is a major military state. Between the installations of Forbes, Leavenworth, Riley, the Great Plains Joint Training Center, and McConnell, generates more than $7.5 billion to the gross state product of the state of Kansas. Generates more than $390 million in property and income taxes. So the military is just critical to us, and this component is critical to the military. So I'm delighted to sign this and show this as well as a statement of support for the Guard and Reserve